Welcome back to the showground, where at the moment it's 66-72 in the second leg of the grand final. All sorts of drama. It's tense out there, and we've got a possible injury in Sam Samota. Has been put into the ambulance, and let's hope he's okay. I'm glad to say that Jim Lynch has just joined us here in the studio, and perhaps you can give us the latest.
Well, yeah, they're strapping up his around his neck, etc., which can be a collarbone. It could be that just a precaution. But it was quite a heavy fall.
We've just been told it could be a hip injury.
Maybe all I saw at the time was obviously we've got to come back and reorganise the sort of team that was going to go out. But both Sam and Travis was saying that it was a complete accident. There was absolutely nobody's fault, and it was just one of those things that happened. One of the riders reared up and, took it.
Richard Hall was going for it, and obviously McGowan was coming around the outside. He did lift at the unfortunate time, and there was contact, but Samota just found himself with nowhere to go, and the bike literally just wiped him out. Yeah.
So I don't think it's unfortunate. I hope he's all right, obviously, because the meeting's been tremendous so far. It's very exciting, and we don't want an injury to spoil it, do we?
Certainly, from your point of view, your team, you must be proud of them.
Well, the plan was to come and try and get ahead a bit early and then keep the pressure on them. And so far that's worked, but it's still only halfway, so,
But it's no easy task coming here, particularly without one of your top men.
No, but we've got the advantage of being here before and won twice, and I think we are slightly better gators.
Right.
So, and I think sometimes the track helps you in those kind of circumstances, and we've just taken advantage.
And Kalodze, I bet you're glad you got a good pole around a very fast track.
Well, he went to Poole on Wednesday night and he beat Lee Adams in his last ride and wanted to ride the meeting again.
I bet he did.
So he's really up for it, and that's what you need at this kind of meeting. You need somebody to raise their game.
Can you still remember '99 when we did all this?
I was a lot younger then, as you can see.
We all were.
But it's early days yet. It's just that, I'm in the position I wanted to be in at this stage, so you can't do any better than that, can you? Really?
Yeah. You're obviously beginning to put plenty of pressure on the home team. If you stretch your lead to more than 8 points, are you concerned about that tactical ride coming back to bite you?
Yeah, but it's a lot easier, Kelvin, when you've got 2 points from the first leg.
Right.
Because you can actually try and keep it around 8.
Okay.
Aha, good point.
Whereas we have to go 10 in this, which would be 12 overall. But as you can imagine, after last Monday, I'm not particularly keen on my horse. So I actually was that bad I brought 2 with me tonight.
But so far so good, things going to plan.
Absolutely, yeah, delighted. Yeah.
All right.
Listen, we'll let you get back and do what you need to do with your team. Well done, and let's hope Sam Samota is okay. We've heard he's all right, but obviously a slight injury there.
Well, now a lot of responsibility falling onto Mark Lemon's shoulders.
I think he's ready for it.
Yeah, he's been enjoying a good run of form for the Reading Bulldogs, doubling up with the Premier League Stoke side as well. Last time here, Mark was well into double figures, so he'll be looking for a big performance now to keep the momentum going.
And I said they were looking for a hero. Mark Lemon came into this side, of course, replacing Andy Smith, and, he's been that hero, and this could be a surprise-winning title for him.
Yeah, he's been instrumental in the reason why they are here in the grand final. Swiderski rode brilliantly last week, swapping his bike. That's a fresh, clean bike out on track. He's obviously looking for something, not quite happy with his bike setup so far tonight. He's a quality rider. I think he's got a big future, but the Panthers need him to come good now.
Yeah, and need some points for sure. So, on a knife edge right now as they come up to tapes again, Steve Johnson, Nigel Pearson.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. Well, there is the slight delay there in the build-up to this race, and the red lights have come on again here. I don't think we're going to get this race underway straight away, because the doctor is still in the ambulance attending to Sam Samota. Lemon goes off gate 2, Piotr Swiderski off 3, and Travis McGowan off the outside in green. The red lights have now been turned off. I suspect medical cover is on the way, but whilst the track doctor is attending to Sam Samota in the ambulance, obviously he's not therefore focusing on the meeting in hand, and it is part of the rules and regulations that you do need the track doctor there right on the spot. And well, we are being told now that we have medical cover, and that the meeting can resume. So Ronnie Allen has now put the 2-minute buzzer back on, but understandable there that you have to take great caution like that.
Well, definitely. What would happen if the doctor wasn't on hand and you had another crash like that? We hope we don't have another one again all night, but it can happen, and the doctor's not ready. So yeah, definitely important that the safety of the riders is paramount, that happens first. But from that crash, there's a lot more that stems on from that as well. Travis McGowan's managed to get back out on that same bike, we can see, because that's always a worry as well when he had the thing going so well. And now that means that Reading are down to 5 riders. They started with 6 with rider replacement. They're down to 5 riders. I mean, it can turn things right around.
Well, wouldn't you love to see these crowds week in and week out throughout British Speedway? And really would be tremendous. We see big crowds in the playoffs and in the big meetings in the height of the summer, and in the Grand Prix at Cardiff, of course, in June. And the wild cards to be nominated for the Grand Prix Series next season. As we build up to heat number 8 then, the halfway stage, 3 riders only, Richard Hall in blue excluded. A lot of pressure here then on Piotr Swiderski for the Panthers, but the Bulldogs have made a good start here. Mark Lemon in the yellow helmet and coming round the outside in green. Oh, they're almost looking as though there's a misunderstanding there, and they were almost taking each other off the bike there, the team partners, but Travis McGowan has taken up the lead. Mark Lemon is second, Piotr Swiderski is third. This would be a 5-1. Could it be a 5-0 though, because Swiderski was all out of shape there. It's going to be a 5-1, and Reading will open up an 8-point lead on the night at 10 on aggregate with what, 7 races to go here.
Mate, who would have expected this? I mean, it's unbelievable, these guys out there now doing this and pulling away, and it's quite incredible when you've got Travis McGowan and Mark Lemon are both from the same little town just outside Mildura in Victoria, and they're out there riding together on a 5-1, and it looks like, you know, roads like this can be the difference.
Going into the final lap we go. This could prove very significant indeed in the final reckoning, because Reading are about to go 8 points up on the night at 10 on aggregate, and with 7 races to go, Peterborough will have to mount a sustained challenge to get back into this and take the race for the Elite League title right down to the wire. There's Jim Lynch looking at his programme, working out what that means. It means his side are 10 clear now with 7 races to go, and the Reading Bulldogs are now in with a golden opportunity of becoming Elite League champions for 2006. They won't celebrate by any means. I know a lot of the Reading fans were a little bit hurt by Peterborough celebrating so much last week after they pegged Reading back to just 2 points, but I think that was just a spur of the moment. And McGowan the winner, 11 seconds. Swiderski was third, 5-1. And on aggregate now, Reading lead by 77 points to 67.
Trav's made a good start there and come across. Lemo's made a real good run too, and he's gone sort of out to the outside, and Trav's had to go wider and wider and wider. Like, watch here, man. Lemo hasn't really got to... He just looked then coming off the bend, but going into the bend, he's got to try and go from that gate. Watch this here. Trav's working the clutch, grabs it a few times. Very good start there off the outside, because we know that it hasn't been good all night. Watch this here. Lemo just goes wider and wider and goes out. I mean, he's racing for the line. He probably doesn't even know that Moose is there at the moment. Goes out. He just lifts a little bit here. Lemo just gets a bit of drive, but yeah, great result for them. And Swiderski at the back there, I thought he was going to be off at one stage, like you said, mate. Starts heading for the fence.
Well, 8 races gone, and Reading have had 6 race winners. 6 race winners out of 8 so far. It's looking good for Reading. Is there any way back for Peterborough? Kelvin and Jonathan.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it? And, well, what are your thoughts? Is there any way back for Peterborough?
Oh, there is a way back for them, but it's not what we expected. Panthers were looking full strength. They're looking good. But they're well under pressure now. This heat coming up here now, heat 9 with Sullivan and Everson. Neither of those riders have won a race tonight. They are desperate for those 2 boys to really start kicking in with some 5-1s. If they can get a 5-1 here, they might just be able to work their way back into this match.
Everson, interesting conversation here between Greg Hancock.
Well, they're going to start working this out, aren't they? They've got an 8-point lead on the night. Sam Omelenko and working it with Greg Hancock there.
Well, remember at home they had a 14-point lead, and they were caught out when they were able to play the tackles were Peterborough, and they came right back in, and then it was just between 2 points at the end.
Yeah, it was indeed. So, but they still managed to hang on, and 2 points would be enough overall, of course. But you've got to say that if Panthers are going to really get back in it, they need a big result in this heat.
Travis Wales talking to his son and Wayne, and just talking to Richard Hall, who's been an amazing find this year.
Yeah, he's been doing the business, but you've got to say sometimes, quite often in Speedway, when you have a red-hot favourite like Panthers were tonight, things conspire against them, and tonight a little bit of good fortune going the Bulldogs' way. Also, they've been riding brilliantly, taking their opportunities. The home side really are beginning to find themselves under a lot of pressure. Mark Lemon, of course, he was brought in to cover for Samota. He is out in this next race, so there will be a small delay. But once again, Mark Lemon, not really on form right early, but there alongside Travis McGowan, look very fast. And the Bulldogs coming in to cover brilliantly for his injured teammate.
Well, It's a vital heat. Let's once again join Steve Johnson and Nigel Pearson.
Thank you, Jonathan, as we approach heat number 9 of the 15 here in this playoff grand final second leg. And you can see the scores at the bottom of your screen there. Peterborough 67, Reading 77 on aggregate. On the night, Peterborough 20, Reading 28. Nobody would have thought that when we arrived here at the showground earlier on this afternoon. The absence of Matty Zagar for Reading we thought could prove costly, and that Peterborough would go on and win comfortably. Two riders in yellow there at one stage, the wrong helmet colour on there, and they're coming in green. Charlie Cheetah for the Reading Bulldogs in place of the injured Matty Zagar. Mark Lemon is the rider who goes in yellow. Heat number 9 coming up. There is Mark Lemon with one or two last-minute adjustments to his machinery there. He's a busy man tonight because of Sam Simota's injury. We wish him well. And now you get the feeling, Jono, as we approach heat number 9, Peterborough quite simply have to get a 5-1 out of this.
Yeah, they have to start fighting back. But the other thing is, like we say, if the gap gets big enough and they come in with the doubles. I mean, we saw on last Monday that they came in with 2 doubles and brought it back in the end within 2 points. I mean, at one stage of the meeting, they looked like they were completely out of it. They did the 2 doubles and came back in, so that can really turn it around with that ruling.
Heat number 9 it is then, as the riders come round to make their preparations. Every point is crucial. Reading hold the upper hand. But if you're looking at that scoreline and you're new to Speedway and you think this is all over, think again. Anything can happen here. Ryan Sullivan off the inside in blue for Peterborough. Charlie Cheetah, gate 2 green for Reading. Gate 3 red, Niels Christian Everson back from injury for Peterborough tonight. Gate 3 red. And off the outside in yellow, Mark Lemon, the former Hull, Oxford and Exeter rider, rides for Stoke in the Premier League, but is a part of Reading's squad and is in here. Andy Smith, of course, the regular member of the Bulldogs side, out injured right now. Heat number 9 it is then. 28-20 on the night, the Bulldogs lead. On aggregate, they lead by 10 points, and Peterborough, quite simply, have to get out of the start and get a 5-1 here. They are in gates 1 and 3. Ryan Sullivan distracted by a photographer there. He pulled up at the start. That's not ideal preparation. Have they got away? No, they haven't, because Niels Christian Everson is relegated to the back, and coming through here now, Ryan Sullivan has that lead. Charlie Cheetah's battling away. Everson's come through. Past Cheetah in green. The man in yellow is Mark Lemon in second spot. Sullivan has the lead then. Mark Lemon second. Third in red is Niels Christian Everson. This would be a 4-2, and Everson is gathering momentum here, and he's going to try and put the pressure on Mark Lemon in second.
As the track goes on later and later and the wider line comes out, it'll suit Everson more, you know, but Mark Lemon's riding really good and made a really good turn on the first bend to actually cut back, and it looked like he was going to go up past Ryan Sullivan, but this would be a good result for him. Look at Everson now. He's going to go the outside. He doesn't mind nearly bouncing off the fence here. Oh, he's going to cut back now on Lemo, but I don't think he's going to have the speed on the inside to build up and get him.
We're into the last lap, and Niels Christian Everson will mount a sustained challenge down that back straight. Lemon's held the line. Into turn 3 and 4 we go. He'll grab a handful of throttle, Everson. Will he do enough as Lemon looks up, and once again, Mark Lemon has done a great job for the Reading Bulldogs to split the Panthers duo. Peterborough needed a 5-1. They got a 4-2, and they clawed 2 points back. I said before the race, if you thought it was all over, forget it, think again. And that is why, because Peterborough, who've got Hans Anderson out in the next race, by the way, they have just got back into it and are now only 6 down on the night and 8 on aggregate. It's 2 5-1s, that's all it is. That's all they need. 9 races gone. And a rare bit of noise from the Panthers fans, because it's a rare success in this meeting. Can the tide about to turn here? Sullivan the winner, Lemon was second, Everson was third, 4-2 to Peterborough. It's now Peterborough 71, Reading 79. 8 points the difference, but on the night just 6. So, no tactical rides at this stage.
Out of the start here, it was all looking so good for Peterborough. I mean, Ryan made a really good one there, and you watch that there, the Everson got pushed out a bit. Watch this here where Lemo cuts back. He cuts back up the inside, and at one stage, he's sort of coming level there with Ryan. Ryan's got the drive on the outside. Looking across, sees that it's not his teammate. He's just got to screw it on and try and get away. So, good manoeuvre there by, like Ryan off one. I mean, Everson didn't really make a very good start at all. He's sort of stuck in no man's land there, sandwiched between the 2 Reading guys, and he can't really get a run at it. Ryan's made an absolute blinder. Watch this here. Lemo looks across, cuts back, and then he gets up level with Ryan. But like I said, Ryan has got the dirt on the outside, and then by the time he looks to his left, looks over, sees it's not his teammate. Then he puts the gas on again and stays in front. Watch this here, he must be thinking that Lemo is going to keep coming out across him. But, you know, slick down there on the inside. You're not going to have the drive to do it.
Well, good ride again by Mark Lemon for Reading. We've seen him in some great form. And Ryan Sullivan gets a win there. And let's get some reaction with Sophie.
Thanks, Nigel. Well, Ryan, we saw you gesture into the crowd there. You've closed the gap slightly, which is what you need. Do you feel like the team have been caught out slightly tonight?
Yeah, you know, there's a bit more grip on the track tonight, and I think it really caught us out. But, you know, we've done this all year. We've had to come from behind, and tonight I think it's going to be harder than ever, but it's still not over.
You can see because Niels was trying so hard, and he's coming in looking very frustrated in here tonight. He's not happy because he's not performing how he wanted it to be, so you can see how much pressure everyone's putting on themselves as well.
Yeah, you know, I think perhaps we're putting ourselves under a bit too much pressure, but, you know, they've beaten us twice here. They're good round here. Certainly got it dialed in, and, you know, at the moment they're just out trapping us and we're going to chase them, so...
Still 6 heats to go. It's a long way.
Yeah, there's, you know, a lot can happen in that time, and it's far from over in our minds.
All right, best of luck. Back to the guys.
Thanks very much, Soph. Yeah, no question about it. Peterborough definitely need Hans Andersen now. And in fact, the local paper said they were going to win it. They were confident they could win it hands down, obviously using his name.
Sure.
But he is vital now, and he's up in the next heat.
There's no question about it. They need him to continue on his winning way.
Look at this, you can see Peterborough trying to get the crowd into it as well. Very important.
Ryan Sullivan there desperately wanting the fans to really get behind the team. But that was an encouraging performance there. Everson just a little bit out of touch, but Sullivan winning his first race this evening. That's more like it from him. And you've got to say that Ryan Sullivan has been very instrumental in trying to galvanise the Panthers here this evening. But this man on track, Hans Andersen, got to say that plenty of responsibility for him to come out and do the business. Sorry, that's Swiderski in actual fact.
Got to be a straight fight between Kolodzi, though, and Andersen, you'd say.
Yeah, but Kolodzi has actually beaten Andersen already this evening, so Hans Andersen won't like that. He doesn't often get beaten at his home track, so Andersen will be looking for a big performance. But right now, the Panthers need heat advantages, Jonathan. Just 3 alls are not going to be enough. That'll be perfect for the Bulldogs. They'll be happy all day long. They just need to get at least 4-2 out of the next heats to get right back in it.
Kolodzi, Andersen, Jada and Swiderski. It's Heat 10. Let's join Steve Johnson and Nigel Pearce.
Thanks so much indeed, Jonathan. Yes, heat number 10 is coming up. And again, every point absolutely vital here. This is the culmination of months of battling between the Elite League clubs to reach this point. Speedway goes off the inside. In blue for Peterborough. Charlie Jeter, gate 2. Yellow for Reading. He's out for a second successive ride here. Hans Andersen, 5 points out of 6 so far. Gate 3, red for Peterborough. And Yenis Kolodzi, a form man for Reading tonight. He's off the outside, and he goes in green. And Hans Andersen, quite simply, Jono, has got to beat the man outside of Yenis Kolodzi, because he has been magnificent tonight. And Andersen needs to stand tall here, as he has done all season, both for Peterborough and for himself in the Grand Prix, of course. But look at gate 3. Not too favourable where the stats are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, even though we know Kolodzi's been riding so good, I mean, now the pressure's on. I wouldn't like to have Hans Andersen off gate 3 on the inside of you when you've been off 4. That hasn't been really that good. But so it's going to be an interesting first bend. And Charlie Birdie looks like he's been disqualified there under the 2 minutes. He's been excluded.
Can you believe it? Charlie Jeter in the yellow helmet has exceeded the 2 minutes time allowance. There is a yellow exclusion light on, and I'm quite sure there will be some reaction on the phones here, as we expect Jim Lynch, the team manager, I'm sure, to be on the phone to Ronnie Allen. There was another bike brought out for Charlie Jeter. A Reading rider brought a second bike out there. But again, we've got another delay here as Charlie Jeter exceeds the 2 minute warning. The referee had put the 2 minute warning on for the riders to be under power and ready to race, and Charlie Jeter didn't make it in time. Well, he was out in the previous race as well. Referees do give, at their own discretion, a suitable amount of time for riders to get to the start for 2 successive rides. And on this occasion, Charlie Jeter did not make it, and Jim Lynch and Sam Amalenko furious.
Yeah, and I don't really blame him. I mean, like you say, at the referee's discretion. I mean, it's a bit tough when sometimes riders have 2 on the trot and they send a tractor out and give them a grade in between. And you know, I know he was on the 2 minutes, but it was pretty swift on from the finish of the last race for the 2 minutes going on.
And now we have a fresh 2 minute warning for the riders in heat number 10. Let's emphasise that Charlie Gina can be replaced, and it is Mark Lemon. And I'll tell you what, with Sam Sumota out injured, Mark Lemon is working overtime tonight, isn't he?
Definitely, mate, I said that. I mean, they started the night off with one rider down with rider replacement, and then they lose a rider to injury. You're down to 5 riders. It can be a real tough night, but this is where Lemo's been riding very well, and it's so this as a reserve, his job is so important out there.
Well, there on the left is Graham Jones, the former England international, away on the left, working with Mark Lemon there. And Lemo comes in here because when you are excluded for exceeding the 2-minute warning, you can be replaced by a reserve. And that is what's happening here with Reading. Mark Lemon coming in here for his 5th ride of the night. He's out again in heat number 12. That'll be his 6th ride, and then he will take over from Sam Sumota in heat 14 to take his full quota of 7 rides. You can't have any more than 7 outings.
Yeah, but when he's on a bit of a buzz like this, and he has been riding very well, I mean, 7 rides is not really a problem for these guys. I mean, at the end of the night, you're pretty shattered and you'll be pretty tired, but why the adrenaline's pumping and he's buzzing, it's not really a problem.
Ronnie Allen, the referee, taking no messing tonight. Swiderski off the inside in blue for Peterborough. Lemon, gate 2, yellow for Reading, in for the excluded Gina. Gate 3, red, Hans Anderson for Peterborough. Yanis Kolodze off the outside for Reading. Anderson has to beat Kolodze here. They need a big one from Swiderski on the inside as well. The Panthers, who really have been left trailing tonight by the Reading Bulldogs, who have been mighty impressive. Cheered on by hundreds of Bulldogs fans who've made the journey across from Berkshire to be here tonight, and heat 10 it is. And what a start from Mark Lemon in yellow. He got a jet-propelled getaway. Yanis Kolodze is 3rd. The man in blue is Swiderski, and trailing at the back right now, would you believe it, is Hans Anderson, who comes up the inside. But this is unbelievable speedway here, and this playoff final is full of surprises as Anderson comes through to 3rd. Now Kolodze's coming back through again. What a race here, Steve Johnston.
Unbelievable. The race is at the back. Lemo's got out the front. Fair play to him. Oh, I don't know what's happened there to Kolodze. He's got another flat tyre.
Can you believe it? Yanis Kolodze has got another puncture here in the green helmet, but Mark Lemon has got the lead, and Piotr Swiderski is chasing after him. So it's a fine ride from Mark Lemon coming in here for Charlie Gina, and this could prove to be absolutely decisive as Swiderski comes round here. He's gathering momentum. He's going to have one last go, but Lemon using all his experience. Has he done enough for the Reading Bulldogs? Yes, he has. That is a magnificent ride from Mark Lemon in the yellow helmet colour, coming in here as a straight replacement for the excluded Charlie Gina. Just when Reading thought it might have gone against them, that is an opportunity that Peterborough now have wasted. It's all gone quiet over there in the Peterborough main stand. But the Reading Bulldog fans on the back straight are jumping for joy. They are within touching distance of the Elite League title, and it was a sweet taste of success by Mark Lemon in heat number 10, which really did prove absolutely crucial. We're 2/3 of the way through, and Mark Lemon is the hero for the Reading Bulldogs. He gets the victory. Piotr Swiderski, 2nd for Peterborough. Hans Anderson was 3rd. Kolodze with a 2nd straight puncture. And Reading have just punctured the hopes of Peterborough in the race for the title.
I mean, Mark Lemon made an absolute blinder there. I mean, I think Hans Anderson was concentrating on the start so much and was thinking about Kolodze. Lemo came out and made a real good start there. Watch this here as he sort of a couple of times there, Kolodze's coming up, and he, with Swiderski in front of him, he actually slowed up a couple of times. He got a lot of speed there, and then you watch this coming into the corner. Look at that there with Hans Anderson. I mean, straight overtook him, but by then I think he's already having problems. Look at the bike. He's not getting a good ride at all there.
Well, what a race that was. Fabulous speedway. Every point absolutely vital. And there goes Yanis Kolodze with a puncture again. How much more misfortune can that young man suffer in one night? He's looked brilliant with 2 straight wins and then 2 punctures. 8 points in it overall here in the grand final 2nd leg, and the next 5 races will decide the new British Speedway Elite League champions. Big crowd, great atmosphere. Join us for more grand final Speedway from Peterborough next.